Having shortcut means that some of your body parts are on the outside of your body. I've had to have things removed, things put in place, way too many surgeries to even remember. My G-tube, it helps me get the nutrients that normally other kids would just get by eating. Since I don't eat like that much, that I have to get nutrients through my stomach.
Without Children's Miracle Network hospitals doing Kamari's care, we would not be the family that we are today. And we are very grateful for them and all of their help and Kamari's GI team and everything that they have done for us and for Kamari. Without them, he would not be here. He would not be the kid that he is today or be doing the things he can do and enjoying life as a 13-year-old teenager.
Hello, welcome to our Extra Life Marathon here on twitch.tv/LotraStream. I'm your community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next 2 hours. Yeah, we're doing 2 hours today. Going to be hanging out, doing some gaming, raising some much-needed funds for some much-needed efforts here at the Boston Children's Hospital and beyond for Extra Life. To donate, extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. When you're done, head on over to lotra.com. Fill out a survey. You can just find it in the article. There's a link to a SurveyMonkey survey, and that's how I'm going to get you some sweet incentives, some cosmetics, some pets. There's a few housing items in the list. You can find the full list over on lotro.com. We are currently at $22,742 of our goal of $30,000 here. We're going through midnight tonight, so thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to the mods who are helping out, keeping chat organized as we have a nice large crowd here all throughout the day and night. We're doing giveaways in chat. We have one going on right now. And this is for 100 Lotra points, so type !giveaway, lowercase, into chat, and you will be entered into the drawings that are taking place by our moderators and others in chat, volunteers from the Lotra Stream team who are helping out today. Thank you also to Sanzare from the Lotro team here, localization coordinator, for streaming a little bit earlier. Thank you, Little Redhead and Winnie as well. And we've, like I said, we've got streams going all throughout the day and night today. What should I mention about Extra Life? Let me bring this up. Here we go. All right, so this is the webpage that you'll go to on lotra.com after you make your donation. Like I say, you'll just find a link to the survey to donate. Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to mention. Maybe you don't have a ton of funds this year. Maybe you do. Anything you can do. This is a tax-deductible donation, at least in the United States here. It is. I can't speak for the entire world, but it's basically a tax-deductible donation. And if you donate at least $10, you will be added into the list for all of the giveaways that I'm doing after November. So after this drive wraps up on November 30th, I'm going to be doing random name drawings for Lotra points. These are 500 point codes. And assuming we hit this 30K, I feel strongly we will, but assuming we hit this 30K, we're even going to be giving away an ultimate edition of Corsairs of Umbar to 3 people. Who have donated at least $10. So maybe you can't make a huge donation today, or maybe you're not sure if you can make a big donation today. You can start right now by going to extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. Make a $10 donation and get in on these giveaways. We're already doing 50. And we're already on our way to doing another 25 there. So maybe you could be one of those 75 people to get a 500 point code, or to perhaps even get an edition of Corsairs of Umbar. But you can also see just the donation tiers to get picks from the community loot list. And here is that community loot list. We even have new stuff this year. like an in-game title. Well, this is returning. In-game title is Sociable. This showed up all the way back in 2013 as an Extra Life exclusive, and has stayed that way this whole time. But I've had enough people over the years say, but please, but just, I mean, sure, great, but please, can you bring it back somehow? So I figure after a decade of its debut on Extra Life, I'm going to be bringing back these Extra Life codes that happened, say, in 2013 and 2014. So, it's back. The Sociable. Also, it's back, sort of, the Ceremonial Cloak of the Misty Knight. This is new to the list for 2013. Used to be similar to something you would get from the Tier 2 challenge mode of Os Dunolf, but we've recolored it so that we can give it away as this item and turned it into a cosmetic. So the Ceremonial Cloak of the Misty Knight. We also have the Spotted Corgi being added to the list this year, and the only way you could get this in the past was if you happen to have read issue 154 of the Lotro Beacon. It was for one of our anniversary beacons. And it was a pig in the blanket housing decoration. Now that's on the list here too as well. And I think we're even going to be giving away some of these in chat today. I should actually call up that sheet real quick too, to get the chat, or to get the codes. So what are we giving away today? So yeah, we're going to be giving away a bunch of Lotro points, and yeah, next hour we'll be giving away one of those pig in a blanket housing decorations. A little bit later on this hour, we're going to be giving away one of those spotted corgis to people in our Twitch chat. I also have a visit around the top of the hour here. We're going to be pausing the stream real briefly so I can get set up with someone, and Brianna Grimes from Extra Life is going to be joining us here at around 1 o'clock this afternoon as well. I can keep the Grohl. So it's so funny. I like Dave Grohl. I think he's a cool guy. I'm a 90s guy. You know, I'm Gen X, absolutely. No question about that. Whatever, man. But I can't really say that I'm like going for a Dave Grohl look. I don't look in the mirror and say, you know, how Dave Grohl can I be on a scale of 1 to 10? But especially in recent years, as you know, I've aged and he's aged, and we both have kind of long hair and beards. I have gotten more comments just this past year or so as Dave has been making the rounds on the TikToks and things this year. It's not deliberate. It isn't deliberate. I like Dave Grohl. I'll take some of that money. I can totally bang out an album, man. Dave, let's do it. I'll play bass guitar. I'll even play flute. But I don't think I look like Dave Grohl. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I'm just looking at our chat here. So thanks everyone for being here for this Extra Life Marathon on twitch.tv/LotraStream. We're going through midnight tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. It's been a bunch of great streams so far, and we got a lot of good stuff here coming up. I'm going to be playing a few more of those videos here during the show throughout the day as well. But let me get our gameplay going. So I wasn't quite sure what to do about the gameplay here today, because we're right on the edge, are we not, of a certain expansion being released. We'll have more information. So this is the big news. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Hello, I'm your reporter, Jerry Snook. Today in the news, I'm here to tell you that basically we're set to release Corsairs of Umbar next week. Except I don't know that I can actually tell you this exact moment. Yes, it'll be on Wednesday. Except I think it's going to be on Wednesday. And I think we'll know that for surezies in the next couple hours or so. But as far as I'm aware, Corsairs of Umbar is set to release next week. And so we'll have a whole bunch more information next week about it. That means I can't do Corsairs today. There was originally a time I don't know how word got out about that. Maybe we put it on our website or something. But that we were going to be releasing Corsairs this week, and then it got pushed a little bit. It was actually not so much pushed as a more accurate reflection of the state of the development. But whatever. Either way, there was a time where I was hoping that we were going to all be running Corsairs stuff here for this Extra Life Game Day Marathon. And wouldn't that be cool? But alas, it was not possible. So next week, I think we're going to be doing Corsairs stuff. So this week, I've got my Mariner on Brandywine. That we've talked about on the show quite a bit. I think there was one episode where we got just started here, running before the Shadow stuff. But I figure this is as good a thing to run here on the stream as any for these next couple hours is let's get that Mariner action going, level up this character on Brandywine. I don't know that I'm going to level this character all the way to, well, 100 or 150 here, but we're at least going to play through some early Mariner stuff before I maybe take a Valar or something like that. Right now, we're running through the prologue.
Oh, you must be mistaken.
Alright. Now we need to go to Lintriv. Nonetheless, clearly this is a very busy week on the Lochar team because we are getting ready. Nah, I'll just do it. I haven't discovered Lintriv yet. I mean, I am Mr. Points Bags. But I can give myself some Mithril, let's just say that. But you know, we'll take the regular route here. So either way, though, I'm not sure because I think we know just from streams here over the years that, like, conceptually the idea of, say, playing this character all the way to 150 on stream is a cool idea. It's just that it takes many hours for that to happen, and so you end up being, when new content is coming out, for example, you end up in a situation where the character just is like, why are you in Moria when X just came out? And so I think what we're going to do is play a little bit on the low end here, and then I probably will use something like a 130, 140 Valar, and jump the line, as it were, so that we can play more up-to-date content with this Mariner as well. But frankly, I need to learn how to play a Mariner a little bit better, you know. It would be helpful for me to do that. So that's really kind of part of what's happening here. Both on stream for the sections that I'm doing, and then off stream, you know, I'm kind of wrapping up loose ends and doing some questing off camera a little bit as well. Not much, but just kind of enough so that I'm not back to what I was just doing the stream before, so that we're kind of always seeing a little bit more forward movement on it as well. Now this I can do. So I did, you know, this is, even though I have an admin account, this character is on a regular play account. I don't have any special privileges on this account, outside of the fact that I can give myself a little bit of a nice points total, both because I want to reasons, and for practical reasons as well sometimes. But let's be real. Sometimes I just want to. Where am I going? It's up here, right? Nope. I think I'm gonna have to lower the music. There we go. A little bit better. Want to make sure the mix, when it gets loud, isn't cutting into too much.
Well, it seems these are strange days indeed. There are Uruks about, stranger.
Ulrich's about. Oh, what do I want? I don't think well, I mean, technically I suppose the guard's home.
I left Drusi behind to guard the prisoner, so I could ask the mayor what to do.
We had better follow him to his captive, and quickly. Lead on, Fran. Where does your friend hold captive this Uruk?
So, that is the main bit of news here, really, is that the team is hard at work doing we're really getting our final build essentially put together for Corsairs of Umbar. And as soon as that final build checks out and, you know, is ready for deployment, then we're officially, as they say, green to be able to go live with the update. So that work will be taking place today, primarily. You know, it takes mostly a full day, in this case, to do the work that's being done. And then any kind of final work, people will get together first thing generally on Monday based on the results of what happens today. And we'll get together and say, yep, we're all good. At that point, we're usually clear to do the downtime, put up the release notes, and then formally say, yep, we're good to go here on whatever day it is. So, Wednesday, I think. But that means everyone's real busy today. Not just our QA folks, who are obviously busy in engineering and release, you know, people involved in the build and release process, but, you know, there sometimes is like, well, now the way you do is you basically take a build, check the bugs, put together a list, work through the list, and you've constantly got builds going while you're cracking through those lists and things like that. And so eventually you get to a point where, all right, everything we absolutely have to get done, and so now this is checked in, so now we're ready for what we believe is a release candidate. And then there's usually a case where you kind of do that same level of work on the release candidate to make sure it's really ready for release. And that's sort of how these things come together in these final week or so here. So, and that is happening now. So we got people working on some last minute bugs. We got people working on builds. We got people working on all sorts of things. It's a busy, busy time. On the social media side, and I would say that this is on the forums as well, I've been able to release a series of reveal images for the Kindred of the Coin, which are one of the big players, really, in the storyline here of Corsairs of Umbar. Now, those of you who have played Chapter 1 of Song of Waves and Wind will already know this. But, you know, you were introduced to the Kindred of the Coin as part of that chapter. And that story continues, and they play a big role in sort of things unfolding as you're exploring through lands heretofore unseen. And we've been doing daily reveal images of really some of the main NPCs and things that you'll be interacting with and talking to. And that's been a lot of fun as well. So you can go over to the Lochor forums and see that. You can go over to our Twitter or Facebook and see that. And that's pretty cool. So I'm curious, how do you play your Mariner? Tell me how to Mariner. So when I had Onmak Mahal Onmak Mahal, I believe, had largely suggested that one of the things to do is to kind of keep it balanced in that little balance section there. But then I've also seen some comments from, I believe, folks like Louis 7 and that, which is that, well, if you go to the edge, you can get some nice benefits there and then just pull yourself back from the edge. So do you tend to keep yourself largely centered on the graph, or do you tend to push it and then swing on back deliberately? How often do you do that? I'm curious to know what you tend to do. I mean, you know, I also am a firm believer in mashing buttons and hoping for the best. So, trust me, I'm there with you. But, just curious. Yeah, and I expect that that is something that develops further clearly. I mean, that's the point of class development, is it not? That these sorts of things will change and improve over time. Like, so the right now at a lobby level, I might be like stubbing my toe, you know, after a couple swings, but by the time I'm level 130, I ain't gonna. And that's totally cool. But this is when I need to start learning these patterns of behavior so that when I am mashing buttons, at least there's a part of my brain that's like, this is what you should be doing. I mean, you're not doing that, but theoretically you should be doing this instead. That's the main point of you know, trying to get into these habits early.
It reflects well upon you and upon me. Why does your ranger friend just stand there, like a lump on a log?
I cannot believe this.
How do you do?
So because I'm the community manager, I can actually spend a mithril and be like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't do what I just did. Accidentally click the wrong one. Let's see. Swing the balance left, big chain of attacks right, then defense to center repeat. Oh, that's, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Give yourself the balance first, then go, and then, yeah, okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. When you get recenter at level 10, you can use it to go back to the center after a finishing move. Oh, excellent advice, MacArthur. All right. Town Square. Be here.
We won't be caught off guard again.
So I created this character, and like I said, we got, I believe, one stream in with it. Maybe two, but I think just the one stream, really. But we also, because it's been getting ready for Corsairs of Umbar, we've had Sevon, we've had Anmak Mahal and Orion. You know, we've been busy doing more informational streams, really, since the pre-purchase campaign began. And so I haven't actually had much opportunity to play this Mariner to date, which is why I'm still in the intro, essentially, as it is on stream. But that's really part of what today's thing is. We've got another hour and a half yet, and I imagine that should be more than adequate to make some progress on this prologue, while we're raising funds to help Extra Life. So, extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. Thank you, Anonymous, most recent donation of $20. Much appreciated there. And it looks like we are up to $22,852. So we've had some donations that have come in for our stream today. And I really want to thank everybody who donates, large or small. It's all very much appreciated. There's Meldir. Kettigan means well, and the folk of Mossward will fight to defend their homes from goblins and uruks and anything else that threatens them. But against wizards, I do not think they will have a very high chance of survival. I will tell you what I know of the 3 wizards, Rivener, and I will let you judge our chances. Yes, Rivener. Rivener is the name I was able to get on Brandywine. Following in the footsteps of Stampion, the Stout Axe champion, and Dwinstrel, the Dwarven Minstrel, and several others that I've named this way over the years, I would have expected someone would have taken River Hobbit Mariner and created Rivener yet. But no, nobody had the name Rivener when I created this character well after pre-purchase had launched. So I don't know. I was as surprised as you, but yes, Rivener. No one took it. And that's the name of my River Hobbit Mariner. Always understood Saruman to be the most learned of the wizards, and the greatest of their order. It is said he was sent here by the powers to guide and instruct those who dwell within Middle-earth. In Isengard. In Isengard. We know Gandalf. We don't need to read about Gandalf. He's cool. Well, I'm getting myself some armor, am I not? What? I didn't hear anything. Alright, maybe you didn't say exactly that, but I'm sure it's all the same. The wizard is sending goblins and uruks to attack Mossward. Shouldn't we know about it? Keep people's spirits up, kid. I say. I think you handled that okay. Better than I would have. I plan to search further afield for some clues. Saruman's purpose. Why would he be sending goblins and uruks to attack Mossward? Go east, where the road from Enedwaith enters Swanfleet. The raiding party may have come from there. So, we're heading on our horsies. And we are heading up to... Oops. Yeah, we are heading basically onto the road there. So, probably the fastest way would be to... Is that Glenhillig? Yeah. Swift travel to Glenhillig and just take it from there. Ponton, I use a skill chain. Each skill that gives a buff to use the next skill that moves forward to red in the balance. Use skill, then go back to green. So in theory, I would love to be more proficient at skill chaining. Clearly, I think as is demonstrated occasionally on this show, skill chaining is not my strong suit. I just don't have the brain space to memorize skill chains. And I just don't... I mean, I do it when I can, but let's be real here. It's not my strong suit. Nonetheless, it's something I should really be better at, because it would... You're right, I mean, it's clearly what I need to be doing that I'm not doing, in some ways. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think a whole bunch of people are probably... Whenever I feel like my gameplay is not good enough on the stream, I will think back to the many private messages and things like that I receive, which is like, hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe you're not going to be setting new standards for rating capability here, but you play just like I do, and you should know that. And I take it to heart. There's lots of us out there. You're enjoying your Mariner a lot more than your Brawler. Not every class is going to be for every playstyle, and whenever you debut a class, you want everyone to love it. But just like any class, you're going to, over time, have people who gravitate toward it as something that really connects with them, and then you're going to have people who it's like, well, that was cool, but I'm playing this instead. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Yes, the Sleeping Gray Cat is in the housing category because it is a housing item that you place, similar to the Pig in a Blanket. What is the time limit for Extra Life? You don't get paid till next Friday. I will be taking donations really... The formal cutoff I am using is through November 30th. And the reason for that is because I need to have a cutoff point at which point all the surveys need to be in, and I can do the random name generation for the giveaways. In practice, you really have through the end of December to get in a donation if you really need to. You'll obviously miss out on the giveaways if you do that, and there's really not much I can do about that. But I'm not particularly picky. I'm like, no, I will not take your money for the Boston Children's Hospital. It's fine. Whenever you want to donate, we'll make it work. In the same way that we've actually had people who have donated, say, over the summer here just a little bit because they knew they were going to do it. And for whatever reason, they were donating to Extra Life earlier than this live stream. And all that's totally fine, too. I'm pretty open in terms of making sure you get incentives for your donation. But all that stuff happens during a window here between, say, mid-October and the end of November when I do the main Extra Life drive. And it's usually, fingers crossed, I think I've always been able to get it done by the winter break, towards the end of December, in terms of getting everyone all their stuff. But it's a lot of work. Each year we make it a little bit easier than it was the year prior, but it's always kind of a hassle. A lot of hours of just sort of having to crunch through the list, as it were. And we have usually hundreds of donations, which is fantastic. And it's really not that bad. Basically what I'll do is I'll just sit here for a week or so worth of nights. A couple weeks, maybe. And kind of like put on movies in the background and just go crunch through the list, get everyone all their stuff. That's why the survey works out pretty good, because all you have to do is I just sort of look at the list. It all shows up in a nice little window there because you check in the boxes, and I'm going like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Boom, sent. But you figure 3 minutes per email. Let's say it's an email. 3 minutes per email times 600. It's still a lot of minutes, It's like I say though, I don't want anyone to be poor me. It's totally fine. I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to, and it's an easy sacrifice to make for such a worthy cause as this. And it's not hard work. Lariana, I don't know. So you should say, is your Mariner's name a quote legal name? There's nothing I see, but then we already discussed I'm Gen X, so I don't know necessarily what the kids these days are using for the slangs. You know, words like tubular and grody. That's what the Gen Zs are doing. Name seems fine to me. The current giveaway is for a title, a viewer of events. It closes in a few minutes here, so make sure you do your giveaway if you haven't. Oh, no, it did just close right now, actually. And congratulations, Kamutareka, for winning that title of viewer of events. Do I know when the incentive emails are going to be going out? Yes, when I do them, is the answer. I had hoped to have started it already, and I believe that I can probably safely have said that every single year. But the reality is the nights from which to do what I just described have not been available over the past week or so. So I was hoping to actually get started on mailing people their stuff like Tuesday of this week, but it just didn't happen. And it looks like this weekend's going to be pretty full too. So my guess would be next week I will start at the top of the list and just start cooking through it all. If I can get to it a little this weekend, maybe I will. I don't think I'm going to be able to. So it'll probably be next week when I start. And then, like I said, the process takes... Usually there's like an initial wave that takes about a week. And then there's a secondary wave of people who either maybe they didn't get me quite all the information I need, or they had a specific question, or like, well, hey, I kind of want to know this, that, and the other thing before I make my picks, you know. And then I'll work through that list, and that takes maybe a week or so. And then there's a follow-up week, which is just kind of odds and ends as people come back with questions, or maybe I gave them out a bad code or two, or they changed their mind, or whatever, you know, odds and ends. Usually takes about 3 weeks or so from the time I start to about the time that it's all, I can move on to other things and not focus on it during some dedicated times for it, right? But, you know, let's also be real here. We are theoretically releasing Corsairs of Umbar next week, are we not? So I might actually be kind of busy doing that. But this will kind of fit in around the edges, because I can, you know, just sort of work on it in pieces over a longer period of time. Totally works as well, so. I guess if I say next week, it'll commit me to doing it. It really helps to read the tooltips on the Mariner skills. Like most classes, as you benefit from understanding what is the best skills in what order, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
You bring interesting tidings.
The Uruks quarreled amongst themselves after they arrived in Swanfleet, but for what purpose? And getting the swords to the blacksmith, who will know what to do. Turn them into spoons.
More Uruk blades? I didn't ask for these. Could you do something about Tegwin? He's been bothering me since this morning.
What can I do to help the village? Can I come with you?
So we're heading out to do a little bit of combat. Putting those Mariner skills to the test. Do I still work on the DDO side? Yes. My position is split between both games. So, it's not exactly half and half. It really depends as to who's doing what at a given moment, but it's roughly half and half. So we're looking for specifically boar tusks, crabin, talons, and potential whetstones. I remember the whetstones being a little trickier to find, if I recall. Until I cleared up enough of the map to find them. Or were they just off to the left here? I can't remember. No, they're kind of over down by Clegger, are they not, maybe? Alright, so let's do that. Let's kind of move a little bit over on the blue side, and then pop us back over to red and kind of see how that works out. So this will actually give me a heal with disengage, give me a little evade chance, enrage my target with a step back for post. I don't see that too often. Oh, now you don't want to fight me, huh? Just because I found 4 of you already. Alright, well, boar tusks. That's what I'm looking for. We take a quick look at chat. And actually, you know what? While I do that, this is as good a time as any to get our next video going. So give me just a quick second.
At our 17-week ultrasound, we were told that she had something called spina bifida. The high-risk OB had said that this prognosis was not good, that she would not be able to eat or drink on her own, wouldn't be able to breathe on her own, wouldn't have any quality of life. The funds that Children's Miracle Network hospitals have provided to our particular hospital has been amazing. She sees her neurosurgeon, her orthopedic, her rehab doctor, her urologist, all of the different specialists in one day. We are very focused on Logan being as independent as possible. We want her to have the best life possible, do everything on her own, and just be able to be a productive member of society when she becomes an adult. We have signed her up for whatever sport that she may show an interest in. Logan really enjoys karate, and they basically adapt everything to her. So anything that would involve leg movements, they come up with something that she can do with arm movements. We feel it's really important for the community to be able to support their children's hospital for the very reason that if we didn't have their support, we would be floundering. We wouldn't know where to turn, what to do to make her have the best life possible.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm muted. Okay, so I had actually, like I said, I've been running into a problem where XSplit has been being delayed on button presses. Like, I push a button and it ain't pressing. And so if I press it multiple times, it's been causing some problems here today on stream. That's why the transition to the video was not as clean as I would have liked it to be. Maybe I'm trying to just do too much with my computer. Hey, there's a rock in the road. Nice. Everyone, yeah. So I unmuted it, and then it remuted is what happened. Anyway. I'm new. I've only been streaming for like, what, 10 years now? This is why the pros have producers, by the way. People behind the scenes to push all those buttons. So we do have a launch trailer that'll be arriving next week with Corsairs of Umbar. I don't think we've mentioned that yet. I uploaded, sort of behind the scenes, the final version of it to sort of a corporate folder and such yesterday. So I got a chance to see the final yesterday, and that's looking really good. We'll have that for you next week. We'll have more of the Kindred of the Coin reveals as well, and then, you know, next week we should, in theory, be seeing it yourself. The release notes are out for translation, speaking of the work that Sansere does. I sent the release notes to them on yesterday for localization, and they'll come back most likely something like Monday. Alright, so all I am looking for is boars. So, do over in Twitch chat, can we see old videos from Lotro 2008, 6, 7 when it came out, or old special videos from events? For the most part, no. There are some old videos, not quite of that vintage, but from the 2010 era or so, that are still on the YouTube channel. So if you go all the way back to like the earliest part of the YouTube channel and that, you'll see some of these old videos that are around. And there were other YouTube channels that were in operation before there was a Lord of the Rings Online one. Remember when YouTube came out, it was one of several options and wasn't really the big juggernaut immediately that it became, although it was always pretty big. But 2006, 2007 is when YouTube was coming out too. So there are other places and other things that took place around that time. Long and short of it is, I believe that there is an old, like, Turbine YouTube dead channel that also hosts some of those videos that you might be looking for. So I would go onto YouTube and see if you can dig up that old Turbine channel from back in the day. It's long dead. I doubt even many people even have credentials to log into it. You know, it's there still. And I think that that might have some of the videos you're looking for. Some of that is still around. You know, people have tried to maintain catalogs and archives and that over the years, but the reality of long-term game development is things do sort of get lost sometimes. And some of that early 2006-7 material may not be gone exactly, but it's not really accessible either. Like, where is it? Can we find it? Yeah, we could. It would be a big project, you know, that kind of thing. Some of that's still around. When I've come across that over the years, we've made sure to archive it, and we have other people who also do that work. So that we've got, you know, various sort of places where we can store some of that long-term archival stuff so it doesn't get lost. But it's a process, and that's why folks, like, you can, you know, someone like Wizards of the Coast, for example, or Hasbro. I remember once a long time ago, I had an opportunity to speak to someone who was working at the time at Hasbro as one of their librarians. And I was like, a library at Hasbro? Well, it's not, you know, check out books and periodicals, you know, see if they still have a microfiche player. It's the preservation of everything from their advertising to, well, anything, really. Anything they need that needs to be stored long-term and be able to be accessed after the fact, right? Because they'll have, you know, maybe some big toy line will have a movie in a decade, and they want to be able to look up that old advertising, the old whatevers they got, videos, everything. And there are people in that position who actually do that work. You know, that is literally their job, to be the archivist / librarian for some of these large IP companies. I know record labels do the same thing. I watched a video in the past month here or so where someone got to go into an underground mine facility where they store the master tapes of some of the biggest rock albums of all time. You know, the Universal Music Group archive is actually in Pennsylvania in a mine that's also used for some secret governmental agencies and things like that. And someone got the opportunity to go in there and see all the old tapes from these classic rock bands, so that when you see 30th anniversary remaster of some classic rock album, you know, this is where it comes from. This is how they get it. Well, I don't think you're hearing the meowing that I am hearing, but I am hearing some meowing from a certain Miss Elizabeth Bennet here, so I think we're going to have to switch cameras quick and have a visitor. Yeah, I know. It's not, I know what you want, because it's all nice and sunny out, but this is what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to say hello to the live stream. What do you think? Yeah? What should people donate to Extra Life? Yeah, they should? Okay. Is it for the good things? Oh, they should donate if they love you. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know. She wants to go outside is what's up. Because it's all nice and sunny for the first time in a couple of days here. So, all right. Well, anyway, while I'm folding the cat here, then for just a second, let's put out that call again: extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. If you want to donate, any donation, large or small, is much appreciated. Get her claw off my jacket. There we go. There we are. Now we got a kitty. And where are we at? We are at 2342. 23,042 is where we are at. Let me real quick... you know what? Actually, let me quick hit a break screen. We'll be back in just a minute. I'm going to get something set up, and I think we'll have a guest. Tell me about your mom.
She drives me crazy. when he was younger. He was doing fine, everything a child should be doing, and then close to a year, his dad and I noticed he wasn't making the proper sounds that a normal baby should be doing. So we ended up going to his doctor. They ran tests on him and we noticed he was deaf in both ears. And they ended up doing surgery and removing some stuff and fixing some stuff in the tubes. And now he is doing great, thankfully due to them. One of the best things about working with Children's Miracle Network hospitals is donations that have been brought in have really helped my family and I. Between all of the surgeries that he's had with his ears and his mouth and his throat, and it's amazing to know that there's funds there for families when they need it.
Hello.
Hey, now they can hear me too. Hello, welcome back to our Extra Life Marathon on twitch.tv/LotraStream. We are rolling through for another hour here of fundraising for Extra Life before our next host shows up here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. If you'd like to donate, your donations here today for this Extra Life Marathon on LotraStream will go to the Boston Children's Hospital. And I've got with me Brianna Grimes. And tell me a little bit what you do with the organization.
Yeah, I am a program director at Boston Children's Hospital. So what that means is I have the privilege of working with a handful of corporate partners and programs through the Children's Miracle Network team, all benefiting Boston children. So I work with Dance Marathon, I work with some of our Greek partners, GameStop, which is a fun one, and Extra Life, which is, of course, my favorite. Yeah, I mean, the funds through Extra Life benefiting Boston Children's Hospital all go back to our Every Child Fund. And so our Every Child Fund is our most vital fund at Boston Children's because it is unrestricted, which means that it can go to kind of anything and everything that you can think of, and anything for our patient families that isn't covered by insurance. Think of our Laughter League clowns, play therapy, our child life services, and our child life patient tech specialists, which are the ones that game in the hospital with our patients. And so, you know, it's extremely vital to continue fundraising money for the Every Child Fund because there will always be a need. There will always be families and patients coming to Boston Children's Hospital seeking life-saving answers. And so we'll always have the need there for more funds to be able to provide more support to our families than we were able to previously.
So today sees you, well, today, tomorrow is technically the game day, but I think someone in your position probably recognizes that there's a lot happening it's a window.
Yeah.
It's not a day, it's a window. And so you're going through a lot of these kind of fundraisers that are happening, all sorts of different games and groups and communities, some hardcore gamers, some maybe less so, you know, as it were. Some communities specifically for games like ours, like our Lord of the Rings Online community, which is always very generous for Extra Life, and smaller communities as well. So is it sort of like seeing the world from your desktop?
Yeah, there's a lot going on game day weekend, and I would say that it's not even really game day weekend. So we have individuals who celebrate game day in August. And then we have individuals who celebrate in December. So it's kind of always game day in my world, which is fun, but chaotic at the same time. This weekend, as you can imagine, it is like I'm going on a world tour, you would
Yeah.
think, on Twitch, because we have people who start streaming today, and then we have individuals who start tonight at midnight and will go for the next 48 hours. And so it's kind of juggling because we have individuals who are on US time, individuals who are on Euro time. And so it's having to be a little bit of everywhere and anywhere constantly. And then, not everybody that participates in Extra Life is a streamer. So we also have people who are doing in-person events and who are doing tabletop gaming. So it's tons of fun also getting to bop around at all these in-person events and getting to see how everybody else celebrates game day, whether that's through tabletop gaming, cosplaying. I actually am playing games on my phone and streaming tomorrow morning. So that's how I'm going to
Oh.
celebrate game day.
Nice.
So everybody celebrates a little different. So it is like I'm doing my world tour with seeing everybody gaming from different parts of the world, but also doing a world tour in the sense of the types of gaming that we're going to be participating in this weekend.
All right, so maybe someone who is watching this year will want to do it next year in terms of raising funds for Extra Life. What should they know? What should they do?
Yeah, I think first thing is anybody can do Extra Life. You don't have to be a streamer on Twitch. You don't have to be a video or PC gamer. Any and all games are welcome, whether that's iPhone, PC, console, backyard, tabletop. I love playing games like Organ Attack and Candyland. So all gamers are welcome. And, we just want you to have fun and do good at the same time. So, that's number one. Number two, I always suggest to people, join our community early. You don't have to wait until the end of October or beginning of November to sign up for Extra Life. We actually encourage everyone to sign up in January. That way you can be a part of all of our events throughout the year. So it's not just one big 25-hour gaming marathon. You get to go to, Red Sox events, and you get to go to all of our conferences and gaming cons and our spring rally and our holiday celebration at the end of the year. So we really like to have an entire year of programming and events to build that sense of community, because we do have over 1,700 gamers benefiting Boston Children's Hospital. So it's a large community, and we really I feel like it's one big family. So we really like to emphasize that throughout the year and not just have people participate in our November streams.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Bri, for stopping by the show here this afternoon. Anything else you want to mention before we let you move on?
Yeah, I would say, just keep up the amazing work. Drink some water, eat some snacks, and have so much fun during game day. And just remember, your impact is felt so strongly within the walls of Boston Children's Hospital. And we really would not be the institution that we are without the support of people like you. So thank you so much, Jerry, and to everybody else out there watching, and game on.
All right, give me just a real quick second here to switch scenes. It'll take just a second. There we are. All right, thanks, Bri.
Awesome. Thanks, Jerry. Bye.
All right. I'm not muted. Or am I? All right, here we go. I am muted. I'm not muted. I am not muted. For some reason, I don't know, XSplit has been hitching up on me a little bit. Like I mute, and then it doesn't mute. Give me a second. Okay. We are back. Let me call up our Twitch chat. Get that on side screen again. We have got a giveaway going on. And this is for 100 Lotro points. Exclamation point giveaway in Twitch chat if you would like to be a part of it. All right. I am hunting some boars. That's what I'm doing. I've still got 4 more to go. I remember this taking a while last time I ran this as well. Maybe we need to add more boars to the region here. The boars are not winning the population war in this particular part of Middle-earth. Of course, I'm not helping, am I? I'm not exactly helping, am I? Looks like our giveaway is closed, so we're going to be picking a winner here in just a second. Someone is saying I should go closer back to town. Okay, I can do that. I'm right on the road here, so we can do that. But when I was over by town, I didn't really see a lot of boars there either, so that's kind of why I moved away. But I will take, if chat tells me something, I have learned to listen. Oh, thank you so much, Extra Life in chat. Just really appreciate you being on our show here today. So I'm going for about another 45 minutes. Now might be an excellent time to donate. We are at 23,132 of our $30,000 goal. Now, most years, this is the first year we've been at 30K. Last year, we crossed 30K. So that's why I said it again for this. We were at like 32 last year. And you can't let last year us beat this year us. Last year us sucks. And this year us is awesome. And so, no. Last year us is very much appreciated. But, we don't need to let last year us beat this year us, do we? No. So if you can donate at least $10, you'll get into any of the giveaways that we're doing. And if you can do more, that's fantastic. See if we can hit that $30,000 goal here today. We're at 23,132. When you get done, just send me a quick survey. You can find the link to it on Lotro.com. Basically, it's how I say, well, how do I contact you? And then what do you want? And that's how I take care of it. Easiest way is email, but there is a specific reason I'm not requiring people to give me an email, and that is I can't. Due to weird European, US something or other commerce consumer guidelines or whatever. It's personally identifiable information. I'm not really supposed to ask for it unless the need is just. But I can, however, ask you for how do you want me to get in touch with you, and you can give me your email. You don't have to. It could be the other most popular way, if email isn't something you want to give, is a forum handle. Give me your Lotro forum handle so I can just private message you the codes. I could do Twitter. I could do Facebook, although I will warn you, Facebook's Messenger is all kinds of... it has quirks. Especially if you're trying to run brand pages and things like that. So I would say use Facebook as last resort. But we could do Facebook as well. And just fill it out in the survey. The one thing I don't want, and every year I get a handful of them, and I tried to be explicit about it this year, is I don't want your game account name. Not only shouldn't you be giving your game account name to anyone, except for maybe a customer service agent who has a specific need to ask, and you would understand the reasons why. But also, just because I can't, it doesn't help me. I can't send you these codes just from knowing your game account name. I ain't that kind of admin. But in those cases, what I'll do is I'll just get back in touch with you somehow. Usually in some of those cases, I will have already... Also, if you were hearing my voice and you're like, oh, well, I didn't fill out the survey, but I did send you a private message already. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. It'll all get there. And because in the past I used to generally use forum private messages as the main form of communication, it is kind of the easiest way to do it in some ways. Because I can just reply back and give you your stuff. But the survey is more useful because it gives me the ability to kind of chew through the list more quickly. Great. Thanks, Bri, for posting in chat. There's a link where you can check out a video about sort of what the child life services are at the Boston Children's Hospital. There's a link to a YouTube video in our Twitch chat that'll kind of help explain more about the mission that they've got going on. If you want to watch that instead of me for a few minutes, it's cool. But if you want to watch that afterwards, just add it to your watch later or something like that. Tag when. Thank you, Galdwin, for the most recent donation of $10. Thank you so much. You can see over, it's the mirror effect. You can see over in the corner there, extra-life.org/team/Standing Stone Games. You'll see my mug. If you are looking at Team Standing Stone Games page to donate directly to me. You don't have to donate directly to me. It's totally fine if you want to donate to anyone really on the Lotra Stream team. It all counts, it all gets to me, etc., etc. Where am I going? It was kind of on the perimeter. Oh, back in 10. My name, for purposes of donation, is extra-life.org/team/ or extra-life.org/participant/Jerry Snook. Yeah, I wasn't born Cordovan. Maybe I was. I wasn't born Cordovan. Instead, I was born by the name Jerry Snook. And this is just a name I've adopted for my gamer handle, as they say.
How did it go? Did you manage to get rid of that boots? Pickwick is missing. You say the boy might have found Uruk tracks leading north?
Len Garin, huh? Okay. That's what the cops call me. That's right, I did say that. That was pretty funny. We're giving Christmas food away. I don't quite understand all that. But I can do this. Oh, pigs in a blanket. Okay. That's right. That's right. All right. While I am traveling here real quick, let me call up something real quick to make sure. Is there anything else I need to mention? I'm just looking through the recent news. I think we're pretty well covered in terms of news. We did have a Bull Roarer preview, and that's closing here pretty shortly, within the next hour or so. So not a lot of opportunity to check it out at this point, but... And next week's the real thing. Now, where am I supposed to go to find Tegwin? They'll be off this way.
I heard Tegwin has gone missing.
Heading into the Wade Water to defeat Avank. While I'm at it.
You seem to be a person of great ability.
I've been focusing on the story here, but not just. So, yes. We're looking for Avank out here. Should be easy enough. My poor little river hobbit. Well, I'm a river hobbit. I'm used to it. Maybe I will get on my steed here. When am I looking forward to the most in Corsairs of Umbar? He tends to keep it a secret. So I don't actually know the story entirely of what's going to happen here in Chapter 2 of the Song of Waves and Wind. And I thought Chapter 1 was diggity good. It was real good. And so I am very much looking forward to seeing Chapter 2 of the Song of Waves and Wind. In particular, I am assuming that Maid of Lions is going to have some of it take place in the city of Umbar. And I'm looking forward to that. Because I think, from what I've seen on the Bull Roarer previews, when I was recording the videos back, in pre-production, the city of Umbar itself and the Shield Isles, I think, are some of the coolest new areas we've done in a while. And so I am really looking forward to exploring that area, getting lost in that area, running quests, and completing the Song of Waves and Wind as it goes through the Corsairs of Umbar. I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. Or I'm looking forward to it releasing and not blowing up. It would be great if it worked. ... I'm pretty confident it will. We know what we're doing at this point. We've done it a couple of times. But, there's always that, oh god, what if something that we don't know about goes out live and then it sucks. I'll end up having to work. It's stressful. Peeps are unhappy. So a successful release next week is what I'm probably most looking forward to with Corsairs of Umbar. But in terms of once it's released, it's going to be running Song of Waves and Wind Chapter 2, presumably at some point through the city of Umbar. I will look up the question in chat here in just a second. I can't do that while I'm steering. There you are. Really? Really? You and your... Well, you didn't do anything, Stork. How come you didn't step in? We're just gonna let this Uruk-hai stand next to you and sling bolts at me? That's not very nice. Will there be other crafting event like the Forester, like, say, the mining event coming later? Oyabella wants to know. So, I think the answer is yes. You know, we do still intend to do what Orion's got planned. As you've seen, the Forester event is not without its issues. So, really, the first order of business is to get the system kind of where it needs to be, and then debut the Forester crafting event. I don't know what the ETA is. Frankly, at this point, it was, well, let's get Corsairs out, and then we'll worry about it. So, you know, we took it off. Orion's done some work behind the scenes, and we'll be bringing it back, presumably not too long from now. Maybe next month, something like that. Whenever they get an opportunity, post Corsairs of Umbar, to fix up the bugs that cause us to have to close it, and sort of perhaps reconsider a few things so that we can use it as a more stable base for future style crafting events. And assuming that that all works out, then we'll do more. But I couldn't speak today as to any kind of timeline. I can speak to the next timeline, which is to get the Forester crafting event solid, working again, and reopened. And the work to do that, I say the work to do that will be after Corsairs gets released, although knowing Orion, I bet he's already done some work on it. So, we'll see. Maybe it'll be a patch or something, but it should be fairly soon, I think. However, when given a choice of, well, listen, dude, I know you want to fix the Combe Forester event, but we got to get Corsairs out. Getting Corsairs out clearly has to be the priority.
I'm here. I'm here. You would have been very proud of me. I'm certain of it.
The old Elf City. That must be Karas Galebrin.
Where would I choose to live in Middle-earth? I have thought about that quite a bit over the years, and I don't know is the answer. But so from Cardalon, I want to go, correct? No? Oh, okay. There we go. So I would be tempted to say the Shire. I definitely could get along with the Shire lifestyle. I would say I certainly have got some Hobbit in me in terms of temperament and being pretty okay with not doing much. That said, I think I would get kind of annoyed at all the Hobbit hijinks of my neighbors, because they tend to be really into social graces and some of the etiquette, and I don't think that I would be like the dude from The Big Lebowski if I was in the Shire, and I think that they would find me bothersome. So I don't know that I'd actually get along in the Shire. Meanwhile, I would also really like to live in Rivendell. Let me just be like a guy who does something minor in Rivendell. I think I could get behind that. And then there's a part of me who's like, well, no, what you'd really like to do is be like out in the woods somewhere by yourself, all self-sufficient, living with like magical creatures and things like that. So maybe I'd basically want to live in, I don't know, somewhere more rural and just kind of out in the middle of nowhere in a little cool cabin by the mountains or something like that. So I'd have to think more about where I'd actually want to live. Then again, a case could be made for Bree, because I bet it would be a pretty... like, I would understand how to live there. I think I could probably do that. So, personality-wise, the Shire, aesthetically, Rivendell, practically Bree. Yeah, actually, you know what? I could live in that house full of cats. I'd be down for that. As long as the lady doesn't mind. I could do that. I don't know what my job would be in Middle-earth. I mean, as much as I'd like to think I could be like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'll be a blacksmith or something. Do you know how much that job would actually suck? That job would suck. And so would be like a tavern keeper. It seems like it would be fun. But they're open all the time, you're constantly working. Adventurers come in, break your stuff. Harass your customers. I think you know, actually working in Middle Earth would sometimes be very fun and sometimes would really not be. So I don't know what I would do in Middle Earth. I guess I could be like the equivalent of a town crier or something, maybe. I mean, it would be kind of nice to be like, yeah, I make bagels. They have bagels in Middle Earth, don't they? You can call it something else. Lumbus rolls.
You say you bring word from Manel, dear?
Pillow bread. I don't know. What else would you call a bagel? Bread with a hole in it. Alright, where am I headed? I'm just headed south here, okay. Do we do events for coworkers, like once a month raid night? We have not really done once a month raid night, but yes, there are both formal, what are called play days. They're not actual full days. It's a couple hours. And then there are informal groups of employees that get together. You know, they're all together in their own static group, kind of kinship or whatever. And so you see both as a formal part of the work process, people going on to internal game builds as a group to, check out quests, landscapes, whatever, when it's ready to do so internally. And then you also do see informal gatherings of employees off work hours. Sometimes continuing what they've already been doing, and in some cases doing other things in different clients or worlds or what have you.
Those are my errands. Return them to me and I can slay more Uruks.
Alright, we are at 23,317. And thank you so much everyone who's donated here for Extra Life. We still have time to hit our goal of 30,000. We're getting there. But it's moving slow. We got till midnight to hit 30K. So this is a tax-deductible donation. You can get a whole bunch of cool goodies and incentives inside of the game, and a donation of at least $10 will get you registered for any of the giveaways that we do here after November 30th, when the formal campaign ends. So make a donation, large or small, right now if you can, for our Extra Life Game Day Marathon on Lotra Stream. Okay. What am I doing? I'm defeating Uruks. Well, that I should be able to do. I have seen some Uruks. Yep. I don't think there'll be a Herodwaith map on the expansion release, will there? I don't think so. Because I don't think we're going there, are we? So, whatever... I think even more so than that, didn't the map get on this week's Bull Roar? So it'll be whatever it is on Bull Roar, I think. Unless I'm mistaken. I could be mistaken. Maybe it's not actually... maybe it wasn't on this week's Bull Roar. Will there be an announcement on the 3-person release, post-Umbar release next week? I don't know that we're going to be able to give a formal date by that time frame. Excuse me. But it is true that the instances will be releasing after Corsairs of Umbar is released, and we are looking at something like, you know, should be kind of standard time frame for us, which would be something in the range of up to a couple months afterwards, I think is the intention there. It'll get a preview on Bull Roar, I believe, first, and then we'll have more information about it. So I don't think next week we're going to be able to say, yes, the instances will be in 2 weeks or something like that. Because the work has to be done to make them, and things further make them. Some work is already underway. Oh no, I'm gonna die if I'm not. I did die. Well, I guess I'm not getting that undying at 20, am I? Okay, that's fine. I didn't want it anyway. Oh no, I don't want to retreat. Let me get out of the way though, so I can at least heal up. I thought I had something that was going to heal me, but what did I do with that? Oh no, don't walk into another group of them. That isn't the answer. That isn't the answer at all. Alright. Let me see if I can get that one to come over here. While I do that, let me queue up my next video. Is Umbar going to be released next week? That is the goal, in fact, is to get that released next week. So we will have more information about its formal release date as we get closer to it. We're not ready to make that announcement today, but we're close. All right, I'm going to take a real quick pause. Take care of this, Uruk. Let's watch the video. It'll take just a second.
So they put you to sleep, and they take you to the operation room, and they just technically cut out your heart, and then put a new one in.
We were out one day in January, she passed out, and so we took her to the emergency room, and they said, you will not leave until you have a new heart.
My first heart started failing because I was born with double outlet right ventricle. They do take really good care of you, but they also have like fun activities. So like some people, they're like specialized in like music therapy, art therapy.
So Child Life helped with even simple things such as school. So that was really important to us as a family.
Children's Miracle Network hospitals help Child Life. So when you donate, they can get like the supplies, and then they can help Child Life too.
So we have got about, I don't know, about 5 minutes or so left on the live stream here. So what should we do to wrap up the show? There we go. Where did I end up? Okay, not too bad. There have been people over the years who have gotten so kind of frustrated with watching me play because I kind of don't... Like, I don't want to die. I don't want to be defeated. Do I care if I'm defeated? So, it depends. It's tricky. I don't like it when it's on stream, because it's embarrassing. But other than that, that's the part I don't like. So, Yudi Jani is the winner of our most recent giveaway. I think that's for a Sleeping Gray Cat housing item. Congratulations. Excuse me just a second. I am just real quick calling up our schedule here. Let me see. So we have got Druid's Fire is after me, starting at 2 o'clock, going to go until 4 o'clock, at which point we've got Red Baron on, and then Agent Brigman, Floria, Maylung, Eldalith, Elgaladwin, and Big Ed Mustafa starts at 10 p.m., wrapping up at midnight, and thus wrapping up the stream as well. So that's what we got going on throughout midnight tonight. So a whole bunch of cool streamers doing a whole bunch of good things, raising money for a good cause. And so if you want to just, maybe you got work going on in the background, you probably do. Maybe not. Depends on what your time zone is for you and all. But maybe this is a good opportunity to just kind of keep Lotra stream on in the background and hang out with us in chat, maybe make a donation if you feel so inclined. Lots of good social activity and giveaways and fun stuff happening all day long here on Lotra Stream. Also, if you do like Lotra Stream for these Extra Life marathons, maybe you want to check us out a little bit on other times as well. And so you can find our full schedule over on Lotra Stream. Check it out. See if you see a streamer today or whatever that you're like, hey, I'd like to check out their next stream. Go find out when it is. Subscribe to their channel. They'd love it. It's what it's all about. So hopefully we're doing a lot of good, up to and including helping you sort of find new Lotra streamers to join you on your journey through the game. So my biggest thing is I do keep an eye on my health, my morale bar, but I also get distracted in the heat of battle and stop paying attention to my morale bar until it's too late for me to do something about it. That's probably the biggest cause of death. Is that I could have healed myself, except I wasn't looking at my health bar. Second leading cause of death is kind of what we just saw there, which is that I probably just pushed it too much. Drew, instead of fighting one Uruk, I was fighting 3 or 2 or whatever. And then the numbers ain't adding up. We have a giveaway open right now, and I don't know what it's for quite yet. Alright, let's take care of that last Uruk. Oh, I did. Okay. Regolith. Northwest of Karis Galabrin. Let's see, just up this way. I like, by the way, I like B for how you're pinning the most recent giveaway status in Twitch chat. So you can see like giveaway open and things like that. No matter how quickly you might have joined us or how long ago. Nice stuff. Alright, so we got some hunting around Karis Galabrin. But I think that's going to do it for the gameplay part of the show here today. Let's wrap things up here in a couple of minutes, and then let Druid's Fire get on. Thank you so much to all of the moderators. I don't want to leave someone out, so I don't have my mod list right in front of me in terms of who's modding in chat. But there's a bunch of you. So let me thank Druid's Fire, Little Redhead, B4, Winnie, Yao, I believe, was on earlier as well, and a whole bunch of folks who are helping make today run smoothly on Lotra Stream, because this is a big production. We're going until midnight Eastern for Extra Life. We are at 23,432 and 47 cents of our $30,000 goal here for Extra Life. So please do, maybe you right now might be listening, watching, and in a position to help. If you can do $5, great. If you can do $10, great. If you can do a little more than that, even better. If you can do 60, you basically are going to get your pick of the list here, as it were, and it should go real well for you for the incentives. Because it's something like, what, 10 picks from the community loot list? Something like that. It's a lot. So that's what's up. All right, I'm going to get off here in just a second so that Druid's Fire can get on the show for our Extra Life Marathon running through midnight Eastern here today. I'm going to be on the other game side, the DDO side, on Saturday. If you happen to be a player of both games, I'll be doing 3 to 8 p.m. Eastern over there tomorrow. I'll be around in chat throughout the day here and night here today. So give you a shout out if I can. Please do stick around. Druid's Fire is up next, and I'm going to leave you with a video here. Have fun, everyone. Talk to you soon.
My name is Tate. I'm 11 years old, and my favorite thing to do is basketball and baseball. I was 2 months old when I had liver cancer, and I had a tumor that was the size of a tennis ball. And I had stage 3 of hyperblastoma. So I had to have chemotherapy to try to help with the cancer and try to treat it, and so I got a star from that right here. So I have 2 side effects of chemotherapy, and 1, I have weak bones, and 2, I have hearing loss, so I can't hear good, and so I have to wear hearing aids. It's so important that you can donate money to other hospitals, because if you do, that money can go to the hospital and try to take care of kids just like me all over the United States.